Blackpool are going to put up a fight?
Yeah, they will, well, you'd expect them to. We've watched a couple of the games where they played very well against Leeds. I know that was a home game. Our home record's good, so we are hoping to go out and be positive and win the game, and obviously that'll more or less cement our place in the league next year, which is what we're looking to do, obviously. Blackpool have had a really difficult season, and Lee Clark's had an impossible job there, really. So I don't know how they'll approach the game. What we'll do is we'll try and go on the front foot and take the game to them. Our home record's been brilliant since I've come in, and we'd just like to maintain that.
Does it make it harder because Blackpool have had the hardest job going? Does it make it hard to assess them and decide what they're going to do?
Yeah, because he does seem to change the formation quite a bit and the personnel as well, which is understandable because he's obviously looking for a recipe that'll work. But it's been very difficult for him, and I'm not being condescending here either. So, yeah, it's difficult to... He may look at what he did against Leeds the other week, where they got a good point against Leeds and by all accounts played well. He may not change so much, but they're away from home and then he might change the formation. So I can't second guess Lee. What I've got to do is just concentrate on what we're going to do.
Why is your home form better than
Brilliant question. Brilliant question.
And it's not that. I don't want to mention it because I know Jack got in trouble the other week. But conceding these goals last few
yeah, I mean,
what is that about? It must be. It's frustrating to hear it when I'm working in the studio. Mm-hmm. So it's got to be treble more frustrating for you.
Well, it's cost us 9 points, and if we'd had, if we'd have played a minute less in each of those games, we were sitting 10th. So we can't be doing a lot wrong over the course of the games and the way we're set up and the way we're playing. Maybe it's a lack of concentration. Maybe it's a fitness thing. I don't know, or maybe it's just bad luck. But at times it can be bad luck, but it can't always be bad luck. It's just happening far too often from our
It's like a recurring nightmare.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's not just.
Well, you're not at home anyway on Saturday, so that's fine.
No, but what we have to find is the balance between playing so well at home and not playing so well away from home, and trying to find out what the reason is between the differential, really, because we've lost one game at home, and that was to Watford in the last minute, and we've only won 3 away since we've come in. So we need to improve that dramatically going into next season. We have lost some important players through injury who, away from home, have done a really good job for us, but we can't keep using that as an excuse either. So it's something that we will address going forward.
So talking about that, when do you sit down with the chairman and talk about next season?
Well, we've talked to him already, but only in loose terms, as it were. I think when you guarantee your place in the Championship, then we can go and find out what the budget will be, but you can never sort of put a set figure on it anyway. I'm not expecting that we'll have a great deal of money to spend, so we're looking at maybe looking at the Bosman market and try and generate our own money in terms of players going out the door, or maybe even a sale here and there.
And does that put more emphasis now on the last few games for the players to play for their contracts?
Yeah. They need to show that they want to be here next year. Our last 2 seasons, last season and this season, have been tough. So what we're looking to do is, freshen things up a little bit going into the new season, and what we have to do is hit the ground running, because we haven't done that. And if you can hit the ground running in the Championship, it can set you up for a good season.
The loan window closed, you brought in Jordan Lussey from Liverpool. What can we expect from him?
Well, you might not see him in the first team this year, but Ian's brought him into, as part of the development squad, and he likes him. He's obviously made a good impression so far, but nice, good footballer, good midfield player, and one for the future.
It's another young player. You mentioned talking about budgets and stuff there. I guess it's important that you build around these young players, perhaps not loanee, but people like Vela and Clough stuff moving forward.
No, well, there's no question I'll be building the team around a couple of those players. I'm pleased with Tom Walker's contribution as well. They are the future, and we have to look after them in terms of nurture them the right way, make sure they don't get carried away. But these kids understand what playing for Bolton's about, and the more we have of that type, the better, I think.
It's important to you, isn't it? Because you mentioned that as soon as you first came in, you must be pleased that the players like Vela and Clough and Walker have come through and done well.
That's amazing, to have 3 in the space of 6 months, but they've obviously had the opportunity due to the injuries. So for all the me sort of growling about injuries and that, you know, there is some light at the end of the tunnel with these three coming through. And there's no question, Clough has been a revelation. You know, Josh Vell has been very consistent. And I've said all along, I like Tom Walker as a player, and I think he's going to have a good future in the game. But we need to augment that with, you know, decent, experienced players at this level as well.
Touching injuries, how are we looking for the weekend?
Mark Davis is training today, but he will not feature this weekend. It'll be too early for him. Simeon Slavchev picked up a ligament injury on international duty, so he's looking at 3 to 4 weeks out. I don't know the rest of the international list yet, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they've come back okay. Because you know, could do with, you know, having a, you know, injury-free couple of weeks.
Be nice.
It'd be nice. It'd be nice, refreshing.
Put it on your
change,
Christmas
yeah.
list for
Yeah,
Christmas,
exactly.
yeah?
So
you've been a good boy.
yeah, you know, I'm hoping I'll get in today and everything will be okay.
Internationals, great to see Ida back. Great story for him to go back to.
I think it's a, you know, fantastic story. I think it's great profile for our club as well. But we sat down with her in October time when we got the job. It was only a week or two into it, and we said, "How you feeling about things?" He said, "Look, I'll come in and train because I think I've got a bit more in me. I think my motivation is to get back in the Iceland squad." He's done all that, you know, and he's still playing at the highest level, still scoring. When the news came through at the weekend that he'd scored, I had a big smile on my face, you know. I think it's a brilliant story and a great motivation for any young player out there. Even at 36, you can still achieve, you know, your goals.
Just finding for me the goalkeeper situation is Ben Amos has gone back now.
No,
He's still here.
he's still here, yeah. Everyone's asked smart this morning, unless you know something I don't.
April Fool's was yesterday.
Yeah,
Sorry, day late.
he should play at the weekend,
Right.
and then he may have to go back after that.
Okay, that's fine.
How is that Clough? How's he getting on?
Well, he's out for the season.
Yeah.
You know, he's had surgery on the shoulder, and it'll just be a question of it knitting back, and then, you know, a bit of manipulation for a couple of weeks, and then he should be back for pre-season.
So you've got some great young talent.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
really lovely hearing
I
it.
think he's
and
a
then,
great
like you
talent.
said about mixing with Ida and some of the older players, they're then the mentors and the kind of role models for the youngest. And
Yeah.
you've got a perfect mix there once you can get a bit of stability with your injuries.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, it's just that middle group now we need to augment or make better, because they're important to me as well, obviously.
Good.
Busy schedule over the next couple of days. Are you just taking it one game at a time, or do you already have one eye on?
It's a good, very good question. I think it would be remiss not to look at the two games, but I think it's important that we, you know, with the way our home and away form has been, I think it's important that we concentrate on Blackpool first, and concentrate on trying to win the game. If we can do that, that takes us up to 48 points, and then I think 50-51 should do it, you know. So I'm looking at maybe 5 or 6 points. If Blackpool at home, on paper everyone thinks it's a gimme, but it's not. But if we can replicate the form we've shown at home over the past few months, then we should be in, you know, good form.
Over 20-point gap between yourselves and Blackpool for this weekend. Lee Clark said he's seen his players seem to have an ease in the tension. They're a bit more relaxed of late. Do you have to guard your lads against being complacent?
Well, yeah, I mean, every game you guard against complacency. Look, I'm not saying this is a gimme by any means, but what I'm looking for is us to have a competitive edge to the way we play, and you know, be on the front foot and take the game to Blackpool. Now there will be an ease of tension there for Blackpool, because it looks like they've a long way to go to get back, and I don't think they will. So maybe they're already looking for next season. We are as well, obviously, but I want to maintain our home form. It's been very, very good. I think the fans deserve a performance, and that's what I want to give them.